Welcome to Keith and the Girl. I'm Keith Malley.
I'm Chemda.
Chemda gave me a key to her place for me to pick up Keith and the Girl mail. And while she's in Spain, I was so sure I lost the key. I just found it. I found it on the carpet. It blended in with the pattern. God, what a good day already. How you doing, Chemda?
Oh, I'm doing so good about this news. See, I thought you were going to tell me that you went, you couldn't figure out the door. We sent Keith a video of here's our door where you normally go. And then you go up the stairs and then here's the thing. But I say we're not going to see mail. So
you knew I'd fuck it up. She was, and I appreciate it. But it's like the key goes into this key slot. What a keyhole is it was offensive, but beautiful. Anyway, I found the key and what a glorious day. Let me introduce
a week and a half after I left. Step one, find the key.
I didn't know to tell her. And thank God I didn't. Thank God I didn't tell her I lost it.
You're lucky that it was Super Bowl Sunday because that's when we normally have our meeting. And I saw that you declined it. And I was like, why is he declining it? And then I remembered it was Super Bowl Sunday, which is a perfectly legit reason. But I kept meaning to ask you about the mail. Hilarious. All right. Place your bets, guys. How much mail are we going to see?
I only pick up half. You wanted to see all of it? Today's guest is one of the hosts of The Good, The Dad, and The Ugly. Hilarious comedian, Patrick Schroeder. Hello, Patrick.
Hey, guys. I'm happy to hear that I'm not the only one who, when they get instructions from a woman on how to do something, it's always like they're talking to a child with me. I'm like, I could figure, but I think it's just something about me and you, Keith, our personality types. People are like, I better spell it out as much as possible because this idiot could mess up getting the mail even.
Yeah, if they're talking down to you, there's a reason. Take it in.
Yeah, the best part is that you both embrace it. And it's really nice because it's going to have to happen this way. So I don't know. I guess as soon as I embraced it, I became a little less angry with Keith. Because you could get really annoyed with someone, but it would go like this. It would be like, should I send you a video? He goes, you don't have to. But if you're going to, I'll watch it.
Right. And I get lost in New York City, and streets and avenues, of course, are laid out like a grid, A4. So it should be pretty easy. She goes, okay, now you'll go up these steps to get the mail. And then she goes, now I'm coming down the same steps. You'll recognize them from earlier. Let me show you again. Yeah. It doesn't offend me. I appreciate it.
She thought you were going to get lost in the building. She was even concerned about that. Yeah. Nobody knows you better. So I feel like that really says something.
I wouldn't be surprised if there was like granola bars and apples in case I really did get stuck getting the mail.
Like a little stash for you. Yeah. Maybe you could have left like a trail of breadcrumbs from where you entered the building just to be safe.
Yeah. What have ants? Why do I have ants, Keith? Oh, something I did with sugar. Anyway.
It's the most funny because it's true to me. It's just, we're all just being honest.
Now, last time we talked with Patrick, it was the marathon. And he was explaining to us the bet he had with the boys at The Good, The Dad, and The Ugly, where to watch the Super Bowl. He had to get it in the asshole. At what point does that become homophobic? Who knows? But it's a cute little thing. He's extremely masculine. And that would blow his mind. So we're going to get into that. Did he actually go through with it? But first, athletic greens. Chemda, I love athletic greens. I get my greens in the morning every day. I don't got to eat salad. I don't got to eat broccoli. I don't got to eat other green stuff. It's liquid. I put powder in water. I shake it up. I drink it. Boom. I'm all set. A
lot of companies have an official line like this will make you stronger, whatever it is. Yeah. For athletic greens, we have an official sound.
Mm-hmm. Right now, it's time to reclaim your health and arm your immune system. Have you been reading the news? With convenient daily nutrition, especially heading into the flu and cold season on top of everything. It's just one scoop and a cup of water every day, and that's it. No need for a million different pills and supplements to look out for your health. I had people over for the Super Bowl, let's say about 10 people. 2 of them have tried athletic greens because of me, and they love it. They brought it up. Of course, I didn't go, did you take a lot of greens? They brought it up and love it. Xerxes takes it, you said.
Yeah, when he saw that we were being sponsored, he's like, "Oh, that's actually the best brand." And he never says stuff like that.
To make it easy, Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/KATG. Again, that's athleticgreens.com/KATG. Take ownership over your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance. Okay?
I noticed that you came in from Kyle's place at one of the OMATs this week, and you had your travel athletic greens because it fits in your attaché case, doesn't it? Nice and easy.
I have a big bulk thing in my fridge, and then when I have to go somewhere, I just take a little of those packets with me. I'll mix. I don't give a fuck where I'm at. I'll mix it anywhere. Now, let's get to Patrick. This guy, he's about to get fucked in the ass, right?
Mm-hmm. Can I just really quick? Now you set the scene. And we did get the story, but let me just cover it again. Yes. You're Patrick's girlfriend, and I'll speak to it. Hi, Patrick. Your girlfriend.
Oh, shit, he's here. Right. Yeah.
I can hear you guys. Yeah.
She actually really likes pegging. And is this considered pegging if it's not a strap-on?
That's a great question because I don't know the terminology exactly. We labeled it pegging, but it was a prostate tickler it's called a prostate starter kit. It came with different little things. So it wasn't strapped on directly.
Okay.
It's funny, by the way, is it interesting that pegging, I think guys developed that word, right? Because they didn't say we got fucked in the ass. My girlfriend boned me. I got pegged. They have to make it cute. That's funny. Let's get to that. But first, BetterHelp. BetterHelp is online therapy. I use it. Chemda uses it, and we love it. We love it. That's it. Pure and fucking simple. All right. BetterHelp is customized online therapy that offers video, phone, and even live chat sessions with your therapist. I do the phone. I like to pace in my house. Give it a try. See why over 2 million people have used BetterHelp online therapy. This podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp. Keith and Girl listeners get 10% off your first month. Here's what you do. BetterHelp, BetterHelp.com/KATG. If you don't like it, you tell me. You personally tell me. I want you to tell me why you didn't like your therapist and what your problems are. And I'll fix it personally myself. Okay, now this Patrick, get this. He loves I don't know if you're a card collector or bobbleheads or what, but I guarantee your place is filled with this shit. Am I right or wrong, Patrick?
I have a lot of that exists in a box in my mom's basement somewhere.
Okay. Now that's worse.
I have not.
Right.
I have not.
That's just rude on top of being weird.
In my adult life, I have not had enough extra money lying around to collect anything. But Lord knows if I ever make money, that's right where it's going.
Who brings up the bet? Who brings up the bet? The other boys or you? Like, because it kind of depends, right?
That's a good. I would have to listen back to whatever episode. It had been a running theme since I brought up that my girlfriend was into pegging and doing this stuff with other guys. And we also have a running theme on the podcast called Doomsday Clocks, where it's basically you get assigned a mission, a directive by the group that everyone feels would be in your best interest personally. It would help you grow as a person.
What's another example? What did somebody else have to do?
So Will Winter, co-host of the show, former guest, of course, he was girlfriendless for a number of months.
Oh, he has to get married. You guys are interesting. Let's get back to this. Third Love Bras. The Kinetic Sports Bra is your new best friend, designed with unmatched comfort and support for your high-intensity workouts and casual weekend errands. Available in 22 sizes. What? Finally, they developed these 0.5 sizes. That's fantastic. Flawless fit, support, comfort. They have a perfect promise. It's perfect. They promise. The feeling is unbelievable. Upgrade to everyday pieces that love your body as much as you do. Right now, get 20% off your first order at thirdlove.com/KATG. That's 20% off at thirdlove.com/KATG. So listen to this, Patrick. I'm talking to Patrick during the marathon.
Wait, as I just want to say for Third Love, as a bra wearer myself, if I may, I had open heart surgery, and the only bra I was able to wear after that for a long time, and probably forever, is Third Love, because they weren't, that had a slit down the middle and under my breast. Yeah. And so all of the other bras were just pain. This was nice and smooth, fit great. So it's really nice. You don't have to have open heart surgery, but if you did, this fits really nice.
All major trauma victims get 20% off at thirdlove.com/KATG. All right. Now, during this marathon, Patrick, Will Winter was saying, don't tell me yet, but Will Winter was saying, I don't think he's going to do it. He might lie. But no, there's no. And I said, you know what? I guess I know Patrick more than you, because if he says he's going to do it, he wants to see the Super Bowl, he'll do it. I said, Patrick, I don't know about your friends, but please don't let me down. So, Patrick, I assume you're here to say that you indeed. Yes, Chemda.
Don't say it yet. Don't say it. I just want to be clear, because you were like, when does this become homophobic? And then right after that, you were like, Patrick, you're very manly. I think at that point it did. I also want to declare that from now on, I am not saying I'm getting fucked by anyone. I'm saying I'm getting pegged also, male, female, or whatever on any spectrum, because you're right. I'm not getting fucked. I'm getting pegged. I'm going to call it getting inched. How do you guys feel about that?
Let's say inches.
I'm just going to make up names, and then pegging will be for other people. But so the actual bet is your. By
the way, sorry, I don't want to brag, but just yesterday I pegged Kyle in the front. Felt very good. But please continue.
Exactly, it's beautiful. It's so romantic. Pegging in the poon, very nice. I like it. I brought
it. Scratch. Yes,
we brought it right here. So the bet is, just to be clear, it's not even a bet. Your girlfriend's very into up the butt stuff. You've never done it before, but she's very interested. You want to make her happy by trying the things that she's into, trusting that you will like it because she's had experience with it. She knows it has brought pleasure, but you also have some anxiety about it. So the idea is that you promised that you would let her go up your butt in whatever way that she sees as good. And if you don't do it, you cannot watch the Super Bowl. Now, Keith is asking, when does this become homophobic? I say, when does this become abusive? Because if we were talking to a female right now, I don't know that, you can't go to brunch or something. Let me just,
they do love it. They love brunch. We can be honest about that.
That's that.
What can you say nowadays? I think it's safe to say women love brunch.
I don't know. Be careful.
Right. I know. Yeah. But we're turning into, we have to bring up your sex, right? Or should we not? Let's just put that aside. You agreed to it, as I understand, because you think there is a possibility that you might enjoy it in one way or another, but you're nervous to have things up such a tight bunghole. Am I right?
Also, to use the word bet is funny. This bet is crazier than when Chemda said, let's bet on the Super Bowl after the Super Bowl. That's
I lost.
I'm assuming that it feels good because people keep doing it. And I assume at some point, it always seemed painful to me, but it's something my girlfriend wanted to try. I'm generally not somebody who tries new things. I'm very comfortable. I like, being in my comfort zone, but
like how many positions do you think there are?
Oh, under 3.
Okay.
Over under 2.5. I probably slight over. I would go maybe 3 at the most. Yeah.
Like on Valentine's Day, there were 3.
Yeah, it's like
in one session, absolutely not. No, 2 in one session. Come on, what is this? The Olympics?
It's like a TikTok video. There's fucking one way, and then they call it the reverse that thing you did. That's somehow 18. Yeah,
it shouldn't take 3 positions to bust a nut. Let's get this over with.
No, it doesn't take 3 positions to bust a nut, but there's other parts. But we won't get into that. Also, what your girlfriend
other parts is this is clitoris bullshit. I don't know.
Wait a minute.
Wait a second.
I don't want to bring up any unicorns, but also, and because when you first started to talk about this, I kept thinking she was, strapping on and getting in that way, which I think is like a little more next level for somebody who's never been a part of that. But that's not the case. She's being this angel. She's saying that she's going to do it while she's giving you a blowjob.
Yeah.
So she's really looking for you to like be easy and for this to be a pleasurable experience. Because when you first hear this, you think she just wants to like revenge fuck you and to be with you. It's chainsaw odd. She's actually being pretty lovely.
It's very sweet. She's the Mother Teresa of sticking things in my ass. It's a very saintly, lovely, giving thing. It's not.
Save your vows.
Did it become offensive at all that she's into this sexually, but it's a joke to you? It's a bet to you. Does it?
Well,
if it happens or not, is she like, you're kind of taking the magic out of it now?
I think she was just happy that it was in the realm of possibility at all. But as we got down to the nitty gritty, shall we say, I think our disparate levels of what we thought about it definitely played a part in making the encounter what it was. I don't want to give away anything yet. I'm waiting as long as possible to give away the answer.
Patrick Schroeder.
Wait, I'm going to bet that yes, I'm going to bet that you did do it. And that's why your hair looks so good.
It's that cool updo, right? Where it's like, whoa, I just got pegged. You know?
Yeah, no, it was down flat before, and then it scared all the way up. Yeah. It's like I saw a ghost.
Let people know, Patrick Schroeder, did you indeed take it up the butt like a gentleman?
I not like a gentleman, but I definitely took it up the butt. Yeah, in more ways than one. There was
there's more than one.
A pegging and a finger. There was a lot of issues, a lot of just mechanical issues. So it was. It happened after the marathon, before the Super Bowl. There was like a 2-3 day window where I could get it done, and there was one night where we'd like. She's not a big drinker, but she had gotten a little tipsy, and I was a little tipsy, so it's like the right mood.
Drunk on what? For Loco? What?
Seltzer margaritas. Truly seltzer margaritas.
So it comes in a can, and
yes.
Good. Good.
Real classy. The official drink of anal play. Seltzer margaritas. But we didn't really plan it out as well as we thought. We didn't have enough lube, is what it came down to. Like she went to squirt it out. There was like one dollop. So she's trying to
drop?
stick. Well, yeah, like one little, and that's all of the. Yeah,
I went with Kaya. We went somewhere for our anniversary, and I don't know how we brought it up. It is understood. I'm gonna fuck her in the ass, and I brought. Oh my god! I brought a vat of lube. Mm-hmm. You didn't double check how much lube you got?
I'm sorry. Yeah. I know that Keith just summarized that, but I think we all need like 5 seconds. Whew. So first of all, he brings up lube, and then Keith goes, this reminds me, we were out on a romantic date, and it was understood.
Yeah, why was it understood? How did you come to that understanding?
I think we just talked about it, and it's like, yeah, we haven't done that. That's interesting. And then it was a very romantic place, and she knew she wasn't getting proposed to, so what else can there be?
There's only so many reasons you can get taken out to a nice restaurant.
But so who did the lube? You or her? And then it's like, oh shit.
She did it. She was an angel. She did it. She did it all. I was laying on the bed on top of a towel with my hand over my face, my eyes closed.
You're on your back?
I'm on my back.
Like you're delivering a baby. What a position.
Yeah. She was like a midwife in the 1800s. It was a real natural birth.
Wouldn't it feel more natural, let's say, if you were on your front?
I think
because she's comfort.
Yeah.
Oh, she's blowing. Yes, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was really the main impetus.
Selling
like
point.
I needed the blowing part to be involved. Right. As soon as it entered me, I thought she like switched it out for like a fake fist or something. It was. It felt like Shaq was in the room and trying to punch her in my ass or something. It was it just too much. Like all the air left the room. And
you can't say you want to go get lube because she's already blowing you. That'd be rude, right?
Because he's busy saying that counts.
Right.
Well, so as it's happening, I'm in obvious discomfort. Case in point, lose my erection almost immediately. And it's like not going. I think she kind of like missed initially. She was like, your butthole is a lot higher up than I thought it would be. I'm like, I don't even know what that means.
Is that
sorry.
When we were going to Surf Reality, Christian Finnegan was a regular, and I remember when he first had this joke. I don't know if he still uses it, but he was talking about how his girlfriend wanted to peg him, like wanted to strap on and go for it. He finally let it happen, and she's like searching for his butt, and he turns around and goes, "Not that easy, is it?"
I felt her pain in that moment. I'm like, yeah, we've all been there. It's dark. It's tough to find. But how
do you feel about like your butthole's in a different location than all the rest of the guys she did? I thought your butt was
hadn't
in
even
a different
considered.
spot.
Great. Now I have something to be self-conscious about in my asshole. I didn't have enough things to worry about physically.
So what it starts to feel like there's a truck in your asshole. Do you think like no stop, or you're like, no, I mean, I got drunk. We already started. I feel like it's
Right.
I picture it like I got a knee injection. It was this they do it for like sports people, and it didn't take. I'm not bragging, but anyway, they put it in my knee, and it hurts so much. And guys like halfway done, he's like, should I stop? I'm like, I guess not.
Yeah, at this
Was it like that?
That's from my perspective. That's exactly how it was, because she saw that I was in pain, realized that she was blowing a soft dick now, and she was like, all right, we can stop. Like, you're not enjoying this. And I like shot up and like was like bug-eyed and just like, you have to keep going or else I can't watch the Super Bowl. And she just like started laughing, and she was like, this is not what I envisioned at all. But
It's work.
That's when, after, like, because she'd gotten, I think she showed me like that much on it wasn't very much on the toy that she was using. But I think after I gave her that pep talk, that's when she switched to the finger, and she stuck her whole middle finger in there for a good few minutes. I didn't finish or become erect ever again. It was the whole time I was struggling, but I got to watch the Super Bowl, and Will and Casey, everyone's very proud of me. So
yeah, sure.
Now I don't want to, and this is pun intended. Are you a little bummed? Because didn't we all want it to work out? Like, oh shit, Patrick has a new thing he likes,
I think that was everyone's goal, was hoping that I would become some sort of butt slut and get hooked on this thing. All respect to people who are doing that on the regular, because that takes a level of just consistency and pain threshold that I don't have.
You're here to say it's not a choice.
You got to really want something back there is what I'm saying. But I told my girlfriend that I would try again with her under less content related circumstances, maybe a more like genuine romantic pegging.
I don't want to put you on the spot, but we just had Valentine's Day.
That we were gonna. It was discussed, but I need a little bit more time, to close it back up a little bit.
Tax day.
Tax day.
So, is everyone on this podcast has had something in their butt? Am I safe to assume that?
Yeah.
Okay. No one explained to me the feeling of when something comes out. And it feels like, like when you're like taking off a shirt and like all the sleeves and the neck get inside out. That's what my butthole felt like.
You thought you must have been prolapsed.
I thought, I was like, what? Like, as she's coming out, I'm like, no, you're taking it, like, leave it in. Like, it just felt like it was all leaving.
Now we have to call a doctor.
That's scary. I don't think I had that experience, but I do understand that the smallest thing feel like a fist, and you really do need the lube and to be ready. And my question is, did you get ready in any sort of way, like any enema or special wiping or something like
enema
that?
would have counted. He's like, I think I did it, guys. So I don't think
the enema would have won the bet for me. I took a shower.
Okay.
I pay a little extra attention.
I have a gross question.
Okay.
when she did come out, your butt didn't come out, but did anything else come out?
No. And to my shock, she said I had one of the cleaner boy butts that she had been in. So
she loves them. So good for you.
Yeah.
That means the girl butts were nicer.
I mean, what come on. What if we're just going, if you had to choose, no matter what you're into, if you had to choose just based on a butt alone, which one would be cleaner? Come on.
Right. There's literally nothing. I'm trying to think, what would I rather do with a man or a woman? Everything's a woman, I think. I don't think there's anything else.
Oh, surprise. You're both straight.
I mean, anything. I mean, grocery shopping, fucking anything. I guess tug of war for your life, I guess a guy, but whatever. So you didn't have to clean special, but you were still fine. How long did the whole thing take?
All told, under 15 minutes.
That's a long time, though. That's a long time.
Yeah, no, we were doing a lot of foreplay at first, and it was getting hot. But the moment we realized it was go time, we both just started laughing hysterically for about 90 seconds.
Patrick, if this doesn't tell you that she's the one, I don't know. She sounds like a perfect angel of a sweetheart. Also, are you watching any sports right now? And were you during the pegging?
Okay, well, I wasn't during the peg. I needed it very dark. I could not have the light of the television on at all. Right now, it's on a commercial, but there is SportsCenter on in the background on mute. I need it at all times. Like, you never know. There's some breaking news could go down. Something. Sure, I just need to be aware. I mean, you can make me turn my phone off for the podcast. I could miss something.
Miss the bloops, right? So congrats, and you get to watch the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Based on this, was it a good game?
Worth it. If I would have, I would have been mad if it was like a terrible game, a blowout, and if it was over in the first quarter, I would have been like, "What the fuck? This wasn't worth it." But thank God it was a good enough game that I'm like, you know what? Fair trade. I'll do that every year if I have to.
Would she joke like
football people who work all year for this? He's willing to get in the butt to watch you.
I picture she like snaps one of those rubber gloves on her wrist and is like, "Oh, you want to see the halftime show?"
I do think there are a lot of people listening that are really into butt play because, like you said, people seem to keep doing it and love it. I don't really like it. But there are people going like, wow, your partner is trying to convince you to do this thing that I have to, bring up and hope for and wait until my birthday. It's, do you still have hope that this could be good with more lube? And who's ordering the lube?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Isn't it?
Don't get the one that tingles or turns hot. Do
you guys have a lube sponsor, a promo code or something I could get? Because
I'm an Astroglide guy. I'll tell you, nothing standard. Nobody else got it right. Standard Astroglide. People suggest, we had some people listen to the podcast and write in and were like, coconut oil or whatever they use. Personally. I use peanut oil because it has a hot heating point. It gets hotter faster.
I think Astroglide really got a good balance of things. I mean, you get it on something and it's on there, but it's not as sticky as everything else. It's pretty light.
Yeah, good.
Use code KATG. I mean, we don't have a sponsor, but fuck it, let them know.
Well, when you guys you've had sex since that day, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. And do you have to say ahead of time, we're not doing more ass stuff? It's almost like, speaking of engagement, it's almost like taking your chick to the Bahamas, then to Hawaii, and it's like, well, don't
now
think
they're going to expect
engaged or anything. We just talked about it. Do you have to say something ahead of time?
No,
not today.
It's understood that this is a special occasion talked about ahead of time. Now, not that doesn't mean that she isn't trying to like bring it up. Even before this happened, she would just, if we were just having spontaneous sex, she would be like, huh? What?
Did she say like, when are hockey playoffs? Like, it's shit like that?
That honestly, that she could do that. She could be smart about this and just learn the sports schedule. If she had any interest in sports whatsoever, just figure out like, all right, when's the next championship game?
Yeah, now she has to be suspect every time she's interested in your sports schedule. Like, honey, why don't you put it on our Google calendar so that I know not to bother you on certain times? Also, I'm surprised at how you want to go about it. I would want to be surprised. Like, hey, if we're in the middle of things and they're just going great, and it's like, it feels like something next level should happen, then slide that concept into play. And then it won't be so like, I'm ready for blah, blah, blah. I don't know. Is that?
Well, I think
like maybe between give her like in the next 5 times,
like a little
one
window?
time. And yeah.
I think you're much more of a free spirit, fun loving person than I am.
Is that what we call me now? All right.
I need to know about something.
Okay.
And even like if somebody threw me a surprise birthday party, I would be furious. I don't want that at all. Like I want to know about stuff ahead of time so I can be prepared for every outcome and eventuality. I don't want any surprises.
Well, life must be kicking you in the butt, but I get
every
that.
day.
Yeah.
Every day. I'm like, why didn't I think of this?
Did you ever fuck her in the ass?
Oh yeah, come on. It's 2022, Keith. What are we talking about?
Oh my God.
Whatever, But that's not my thing either. That's like honestly, it's just, in my opinion, it's just not as good for me. It's a fun once in a while, but it just doesn't.
They got the vagina pretty right. You know what I mean?
They nailed. That's exactly what I say. I'm like, look, this is fun, but it's just not as fun as the other one. I'm sorry.
We could do naughty shit. I can fuck your armpit, but in the end, they got the vagina pretty fucking good.
It's the Astroglide of body parts.
Yes, you're right.
That's just
there's other holes, but come on. I'm not putting down a good tongue. I'm just saying they got the vagina pretty fucking good. Well, good for you. Have the other boys taken it in the butt? And is that, that some guys, they get competitive and they're like, well, now you have to. Did any of that come up?
Neither of them have. They've been giving me a lot of respect. It's really the first time they've ever respected me. I think this has given me more clout than anything in the 5 years we've been doing the podcast. So I'm feeling very high based on that. I don't know, because now we have to think of a new doomsday clock scenario for one of them. So we have to find something for one of them to do. But I don't think. Can we just repeat the pegging thing? I feel like it's got to be something different now.
I feel like this is how Jackass got started.
Yeah,
where he used to put a clothespin on his dick hole. Who knows?
I would say, shouldn't you ask their wives? Because this is something that, your partner wanted.
No, because like Kyle would be like, he has to do his dishes faster.
Yeah, I was just like, if I asked Courtney, what would she want Casey to do? She would just be like, get a job or something. Like it would be, it wouldn't be sexual. It would be very practical.
Respect me. Yeah.
Oh, so you need it to be sexual. I see. Okay.
It's just more fun that way,
Right.
Plus, if I'm going to get
fun to you.
But now I get to have the fun of saying that I've done it. Now I can be like cool, interesting guy who's
I have more to my personality now.
Who's not afraid of everything. Now it's like I'm not just some stereotype wearing a Eagle sweatshirt. Now I'm sophisticated and worldly.
Wow, I didn't know going up the butt can get you all of that.
I have
been way sophisticated for a while. And I have some phone calls to make for people to thank.
Right. Did you videotape it for premium content? Posterity. I feel like
we're gonna unveil a new Patreon tier, a $25,000 Patreon one-time payment. You can get that video.
He's like, for $1 million, he doesn't know what's on OnlyFans. It's like $2 I see up a girl's stomach. But
yeah, that's true. I guess I have no way. I have no negotiating power. Everyone's already putting their butt videos on the internet.
Right. Good for you. Did you call your parents?
God,
no. I'm
so glad. Yeah, I'm so glad they don't listen to the podcast or care about anything I have going on. Right. That would be. That's not a conversation that I want to be having in my 30s. Just my dad calling me, son, read something about you on the internet.
Is that your girlfriend making noise trying to see what you're talking about?
No, she just walked in with a sandwich, despite the fact that I banished her to the bedroom during the podcast because she can't make any noise. When
Well, she was part of all this. So, I guess I want to know,
she
who
does.
you talking to.
She has like I was going to say a censor, but maybe it's just because we have thin walls. Because anytime I'm talking about this on a podcast, she did the same thing during the marathon. She wanders out of the room to see, her ears are ringing. She's just like, am I being talked about? Is somebody's butt being talked about? Let me see what's going on out here.
Are you telling them I did it well?
She sounds like the greatest. So
yeah.
Also, you mentioned that these are the kinds of things that on The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, you guys propose to each other in order to make each other better. Have you gotten better because of Will and Patrick, and in what way?
I listened to the show. No, Patrick.
Better is a tough. I've definitely become more open to new things. I'm not as ignorant about certain things as I was. I don't know if that would have happened naturally, just getting older, but I like to think, having 4 years of podcast talking mostly to women about shit I had no idea about has done good for me.
How about this? Would your girlfriend say that you're doing better?
In the time she's known me, yes.
Put her on. She wants to come on.
No, she actually left. I think she got mad at me because I said she bought a sandwich, and then she was like, "It wasn't a sandwich." Like that was the issue, is that I got what kind of food it was wrong.
Well, stop lying to her.
I mean, I just thought a sandwich for comedic effect was the funniest word to say. But yeah.
Do you ever get in trouble on your podcast for something you said about your relationship? I find that I'm like, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't tell the story. Fuck it. I'm going to go for it. Nothing happens as a result of that. I see something innocuous. I don't know what. It's a sandwich, and I hear about it. Does anything like this happen to you?
Not, thank God my girlfriend does not. She told me when we first started getting serious, she wasn't going to listen, that could be like my time to talk. Cause she knows that the podcast is mainly about relationships and our dating and shit. She's like, you talk about whatever you want. I'm not going to listen. Now, is she listening occasionally? Sometimes. I don't know. She's never brought an issue to me, but I have experienced that in previous relationships where somebody's like, what the fuck did you, I was, before I was serious in a relationship, I was seeing a girl who we hadn't gone out on a date in months, but I hadn't officially broken it off with her. And she found out on the podcast that I was seeing someone else because she was still listening. I'm like, you're still here? What can't you take a hint? If you're having sex with somebody and they don't talk to you for a month, at what point are you going to not listen to their podcast anymore?
I want to be on your side, Patrick. So let's just rewind for a second. How long were you dating, not dating? How long were you sleeping with each other?
Maybe 6 weeks, less than 2 months. And it was a once a week thing. It was very, very cash.
Is this not opinion. Often? Once a week? I don't see anybody once a week.
That when I'm single, the once a week is you just got to have sex once a week. I feel like that's
why you stop responding.
Because her roommate got COVID. I'm like, I don't want to go back over there. This was right at before right at the beginning of the pandemic, before there was any unemployment. We were all still working still. And I was just that doesn't seem safe.
She texted, it's not safe. She texted you, my roommate has COVID.
Yeah. And
you texted back.
Bye.
We would still, text occasionally here and there, but we hadn't seen each other in over a month. And I mentioned on the podcast that I had hooked up with somebody else, just telling a story.
Am I on a different show? Am I on Am I the Asshole? Because here we go.
I think it's fine. I think what he's saying, tell me if I'm wrong. He's just saying
I'm not saying my hands are clean. Obviously, I could have done the responsible. Obviously, I could have been my best self in every situation, but that's just not going to happen. I wasn't. I could have said something. I could have said hey, hit the bricks, toots, or whatever would have been the responsible thing to say. But I feel like that's
for Chemda's sake. Was it understood you were monogamous or not?
No,
I'm not saying
there was never any discussion about this is a serious thing. It was, I would come back after a comedy show, we'd hook up, or maybe we go out for a drink, and then it wasn't to me, it wasn't anything serious, but I don't, that's the other thing. You don't know people's dating experiences. Maybe.
Oh, no, I wasn't. To me, like, I don't think it's exclusive until people say it's exclusive. So I'm not, don't bother me about if I'm seeing other people, but I thought you ghosted her and then expected her to just know you're not interested anymore, where the pandemic hit. And so we're all not seeing each other. And so maybe she thought you were just not seeing her because of the pandemic, but it turns out it's because you just don't want to.
If God forbid you and butt sex doesn't work out, do you think you're going to text her and be like, hey, is it safe yet, you think? God, I miss you.
I would love this. Yeah, like 10 years from now, just send a text like, hey, but you still living with that roommate? What's going on there?
Right. It's like, I have a family, 4 kids, a dog, a backyard. Like, okay, so it's safe now, right? Okay.
All right, I'll be over in a minute.
This is all very exciting for me, for you, for everybody. Is Will Winter sad that I know you better? Because I believed in you.
I think Will was protecting his own feelings because he didn't want to get let down by me because it meant so much. Once I told him it happened, and then we were at the Super Bowl and he was hugging me, he was buying me drinks, he was so happy. I just think he didn't want me to disappoint him, and he was protecting his own feelings, and I understand that, and I forgive him. Quite frankly, I forgive him.
That's sweet.
I'll be the bigger man that way. I'll let bygones be bygones.
Right. when a drop of lube came out, did you know you had to keep going for it because she was giving you a blowjob? Like, you can't make her feel like
I was not. It was not. There was no way it wasn't not happening there. That was basically what I screamed at her when she wanted to stop. Was, you have to do this right now because the Super Bowl is on the line.
Did you kiss her afterwards? Like, it's like, all right, my eyes are closed. This sucks. I hate everything that's making you happy, and we're done.
I think when it was over, I just had a giant smile on my face because I knew, especially from like doing the podcast, when something happens and it's a funny story immediately. Like, as soon as it was over, I told her, I'm like, you got to come on the podcast. And and she did come on the most recent Good Dad and Ugly podcast. You can hear her version of the events, which she was very funny in retelling. And it's also
way that at least she listens to the show. She's got to be on.
Yeah, right. It was also horrifying to hear her describe it, but she was very funny.
How would she describe it that'd be different?
No, I didn't realize how vocal I was in yelling at her to get. I didn't realize that until she told the story, and I was like, oh yeah, I guess I did kind of just yell at you to shove it in there at some point. I could see how that could not be the most romantic thing.
You bring up your thin walls. I wonder if the neighbors knew anything like that.
Oh God, yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure the whole building's talking about
it. There's a note on your door. I'm glad you had fun, but you can keep it down.
Yeah, guys, pull back. Nobody gives a shit.
I heard crying and yelling. I don't know. I noticed when there's a headboard banging against my wall. Who the fuck knows?
If I ever heard a neighbor just say, I don't give a shit, just shove it in there already, that would stay with me. That would give me pause. I would be like,
Did you I remember when I did mushrooms, and then I can still feel it like hours later. I'm walking down the street and I'm like, it never hit me. Everybody's hot. Everybody's fucked up. Look at this guy. That's not how you open a car door. Did you have a different walk about you afterwards? Did you, not for the obvious reasons,
literally, yes. Right. But
are you looking around like, hey, it's our birds chirping? Did you see everybody like, I could tell that guy takes it in the ass?
The weight of the bet being on for so long, having that lifted, I genuinely did feel like I slept easier that night.
Okay. All right.
Was your next poop different than any other poop?
Oh, that'd be funny if it's glorious. It floats just right, not too much. I've never seen a shit like this.
No, coming out, did it have more space to like ease up?
It just fell out. There was no pushing. Yeah. I just sit down at all. Yeah.
Maybe more lube would have helped that, actually. We'll see next time.
That's true.
There's got to be something, right? Like, you've seen, I assume I have, porn, and it's like, oh, this woman takes in the ass a lot. It's the resting position is gaping. Did that concern you?
I did not think after one prostate tickler,
Right.
I would become a victim of gaping asshole, but it felt a little bigger than before. But it briefly. I only felt that briefly. Like by the next day, I was like, okay, we're good.
Can you send me a picture of what was in your ass? I'll put it on the website.
Yeah.
And a picture of her middle finger, please.
It'll just be a picture of like a cavern somewhere in Arizona. Just, this is it.
She's like, just let it go already. They need a picture of your middle finger next to the dildo.
Babe, come on.
I did that for you. I've been taking your dick for years. Okay, all right. I'm just, it's for them. It's not even for me.
It's for Keith and the girl, baby. Don't, come on.
Come on.
She's going to be like, wait, this isn't even your own podcast? What are you doing?
So just in general, you saw the Super Bowl, you loved it. Everything was worth it. You see these people that it's a thing on social media to act like you don't care what the world's talking about. I'll see those tweets like, is the ball cunt today? Like, it's called football. Stop it.
Yeah. These hipsters are they want you to know they don't know anything about sports or anything that their dad might have tried to teach them. And
football's pretty easy to follow. Like, I'll get lost picking up a key from Chemda, but I understand the rules of football. They are pretty simple. Did Mary J. Blige cunt balls? I'm like, that's called the halftime. Stop it.
That's what's the Super Bowl. You got the halftime, you got commercials, find a party. Like, you just want to sit around on Twitter and talk about how you read books or whatever.
Right.
Can you please stop telling jokes and take my serious things serious?
Thank you.
Everything to me. Why doesn't it mean anything to you?
I find
like they don't have enough viewers. I think they're good.
Over 110 million.
I find it hack, and I saw your tweet, and then I saw you come over and eat all my food. So interesting. Interesting. How about that? You know what it is. Yeah, you were on time too. That's funny. I'm reading some statistics on the Super Bowl. The record amount that Americans gambled on the game, $7.6 billion.
I placed 31 bets on the Super Bowl, and I won 0. Did not win a single bet. I didn't know that was possible.
This is the opposite of Uncut Gems, right?
It did not work out. I got everything wrong.
How much did you lose?
Only like $100, as far as my girlfriend knows. But
holy cow, he's flashing a lot of fingers. Holy jeez.
It wasn't a big loss. Plus, I'm gonna win it all back on the NBA in the next couple of days.
Everybody knows. Fine. You got to lose money to make money, they say. The cost of an ad now, 30-second ad, $7 million.
How were the ads? I forgot. Should I be looking up anything?
Nothing was worth $7 million.
No. Nothing.
I don't remember a single commercial. Now, I was watching it at a very loud bar, so that could be an issue. But nothing. Sticks out.
No baby investors.
There's a lot of crypto talk. One eye-catching commercial was a QR code that bounced around the screen. And almost like you may have seen it as a sports meme. You're waiting for it to hit the exact corner.
Mm-hmm.
And it does, but they kind of shoved it in the corner last minute at the end. It didn't really go. Mm-hmm. But anyway, that was for crypto. How do you tell? So like, hey, so what's your $7 million idea? A QR code, right? But for a minute, that's 14 million. Yeah, but it's worth it. Everybody's going to go fucking nuts.
Very crypto idea. It's like we're going to revolutionize with some of the dumbest shit imaginable.
Let's see. Here's a wager somebody made. A Houston furniture salesman.
Mattress Mac.
You know him?
He bets on every big. He offers his customers like a refund if a certain team wins, and then he'll put like millions of dollars on that team so he can pay the refund with that. But if they don't win, then they don't get the refund, so he gets all the money they spent at his store anyway.
Does he look like this guy? You know what I mean? Are you? I'll put his face on our website now. But are you like, yeah, that's the fucking. He does that.
No, I Mattress Mac is a institution in Texas, but I just know about him from gambling. Like he won like millions on the Astra. He's this crazy guy who just places $1 million bets, 3 or 4 times a year.
Okay, so it doesn't destroy him that this year he lost because he bet on the Bengals 4.5 million.
No, because all the people who spent money at his store, that aren't going to be getting refunds, they padded that loss for him.
That's funny. The average number of adult beverages consumed by the Bengals each game, the Bengals fans, each game is 5.2. They have the booziest fan base in the NFL.
That's all?
5.2 what, million?
5.2 beers is the average.
That's not nearly enough.
You're an alcoholic, Patrick. But it is interesting that they figured out who drinks the most, and it's Bengals fans. And I guess
that sounds like a punishment. Drinking 5 beers for the Super Bowl, it's not even worth it. Why'd you even get something in your ass at that point?
Did you like, hey, honey, can you cook some food too? Like, this has to be a special day.
She made me a nice little dinner beforehand. She knows how to. She treats me right, Keith. Come on.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice. Big news. We were talking about Whoopi Goldberg being kicked off The View for 2 weeks. This grown adult had to sit down and think about what she said. She ended up saying the Holocaust is not about race. It's about man's inhumanity to man. She thought she was deep, got in trouble for it. She is back. The 2 weeks is over. I wasn't sure if she'd come back. Like, I pictured, I'm an Oscar winner. I'm a this, I'm a that. I'm a real I'm suspending her for 2 weeks. I don't know if I'd come back, to be honest, but she did.
But that's her. You got to talk to people. I'm sure she's addicted to giving her views on things the same way we are. If I didn't do the podcast for 2 weeks, I'd come back with all these takes, and I'd have so much to say.
She came back. Here's the hot take. So she got in trouble. Of course, the Holocaust isn't about race. It's about man's inhumanity to man. On Monday, she reflected on her words and vowed not to stay away from hot button issues. So I'm like, okay. Chemda said, write an essay. I would love to know, like, what did you learn in the Holocaust Museum? That it's master race? Like, what did you learn? She says, I got to tell you, there's something kind of marvelous about being on a show like this, because we are The View, and this is what we do. And sometimes we don't do it as eloquently as we should. But it's 5 minutes to get in important information about topics. And that's what we try to do every day.
What kind of pronoun is we for this?
Right.
We?
She took the rest of the View down with her.
Yeah.
Yeah. We sometimes jump to things and think we are deep. And then we take time out. And then we come back and we say absolutely nothing on it that means anything. You want to be deep. Here's your opportunity to be deep. Sincerely, humbly deep. Hey, I was talking fast and I thought I was being deep. Turns out it was the dumbest thing I've ever said on TV. And I'm glad to still have a job. I'm glad that I only had two weeks off. And I'm glad you're still here watching me and that the things that are coming out of my mouth are important to you, because that was dumb.
Yeah.
Celebrities really have a difficult time apologizing. It's like, why is Joy Behar getting taken down with you? She didn't say anything. Just be direct, Whoopi.
She goes, so do you know, Joy Behar, so you know it's about race or what? Let's not push it. That's the end of the 5-minute segment. Well, just know that you don't have a job where you can be as controversial as you want. You can't wake people up and be like, it really is just comes down to man versus man. You don't have time to do that. If you had 7 minutes, maybe, but you don't have time for it.
Not in 5. I feel like Whoopi should have to change her last name after this.
No kidding. It's a fake name, by the way, to be clear. So you picked a Jewish sounding name. Nobody was named Whoopi, but believe it or not. Naturally.
If you're gonna go with Goldberg as your fake name, you're gonna have to do a little bit more research about the Holocaust next time. I think that can be a rule.
They should show like her greatest hits, like Roman Polanski raping that 14-year-old, 13-year-old. I forget how old. That wasn't rape. Rape is like Hollywood rape. She said. He said, if you describe The View to somebody, you say like, "Oh, it's fun because mentally challenged people tell you today's news." Sherry Shepherd was on that. She doesn't know if the world's flat. Whoopi busted her balls of all people and went like, wait a minute, Sherry, I don't know how the fuck this came up. Do you not know if the world's flat around? She goes, I don't think about it. I have kids to take care of. I have a family. It's like, oh shit. Sherry Shepherd's laughing now. She's like,
that's a great deflection though. Anytime you say something stupid, you're just like, I'm so busy with my kids. The world, it's flat. It's, I just got to get these kids to school and make sandwiches. I can't, I don't have time to think about this.
I want to thank everybody who reached out while I was away, she said, Whoopi Goldberg. And I'm telling you, people reached out from places that made me go, wait, what? Really? Yeah, Israel. What? How'd it get to you? Oh, it gets to us, Whoopi, you fucking asshole. And it was amazing. And I listened to everything everybody had to say, and I was so grateful. Now, again, she doesn't share any of this information, but she's very grateful. I hope it keeps all the important conversations happening. I'd love to leave, like maybe I'd love to take a 2-week vacation every 3-4 months. So we're going to keep the hot topics going.
Yeah, did she get paid? Was she getting paid the whole time she was on?
I have to assume. I hope it keeps all the important conversations happening because we're going to keep having tough conversations. And in part because this is what we've been hired to do. And everybody goes nuts.
No, this isn't an important conversation. What you said was stupid. It's not important. It's important what you're not doing now. You're lacking importance here. But I guess here we are talking about you. So what does the word important mean?
Whoopi wins again.
I listened to everything everybody had to say. I was very grateful, and I hope it keeps all the conversation happening. It's not always pretty, and it's not always what people would like to hear. This is what you learned? But it's an honor to sit at the table and be able to have these conversations because they're important. It's not a conversation.
Classic
the Holocaust
deflection.
was about race. It's not a conversation. You're an idiot. When I say you're an idiot, it doesn't mean we had a conversation.
Keith, we're an idiot.
It's all right.
Yeah, Joy Behar is also an idiot in this situation. I don't understand the like I said something stupid and then you act like it was brave of you to start a conversation about the stupid thing you said. It's like,
yeah, and taking credit. Like the whole world's talking about me saying the N-word now. That's fantastic.
We're having a real good conversation about how the thing I said is so fucking stupid, and I'm glad I said it. Like, what?
The world wants me dead. It's a good back and forth. It's interesting.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
Also, I listened to everything everybody had to say. In my life, I will never listen to everything everybody had to say, especially if I'm as famous as Whoopi. I guess you're listening now, Whoopi. Hi, are you listening to everything everybody has to say? Right. Because we just said some stuff.
Yeah, let's tag her.
These questions are important to us as a nation and important to us more as a human entity. Stop going for the human entity part. You're not deep unless you're trying to go to Baja or something. Stop bringing up the human entity. Sherry Shepherd, by the way, will be the new host of the Wendy Williams show. So until an executive says, hey, what if we change Wendy to Sherry? It's going to say show Wendy Williams show
with Sherry Shepherd. I love how much alliteration is in the title of that show now.
It fucks up my tattoo, but all right, she's going to be the new host. Okay.
Wait, I don't get it. It's going to be the Wendy Williams show, but Sherry Shepherd will be hosting it?
But permanently.
But then I have to still say I'm Sherry Shepherd and you're watching the Wendy Williams show?
It's an institution. You can't change the name of the Wendy Williams show.
It's the vibe. Like Wendy Williams is a vibe. And that's the feeling I want to get. I don't care who the host is. I want to hear gossip at a Wendy Williams style. Yes. I want to hear how you doing.
Great impression.
All right. So... Okay, so then that time slot is now the Wendy Williams show, no matter what happens.
Featuring Sherry Shepherd.
Oh,
it's
man,
it's like Maury.
You wanted out of the View so fucking bad. You're like, fine, call me Wendy. I'm Susan now.
They're
Karen,
crazy over
call
there.
Me Karen. I don't care. Give me a show out of these bitches.
Are you upset that they didn't change the name of the show yet? You know what? I got to take my kids to school.
Who has time to think about these things?
It never even occurred to me. I don't know. I want the luxury.
Know what? The coolest things like this happen. Remember on the Lower East Side, there was a venue called Arlene's Grocery, one of the coolest venues, very small, very hip, very cool bands came through. They had the old sign because it used to be a grocery store and they didn't change it. How fucking deep is that? That's what we're going for. Boom.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's some hipster shit. The Wendy Williams show is going to be like a cool, you didn't even know Wendy Williams doesn't host this anymore. You don't even watch. You don't get it.
Right. Yeah, you don't get it. It's not for you. You don't get it. Here's what you want to do. Patrick Schroeder's podcast is called The Good, the Dad, and the Ugly. You do want to hear from the girlfriend. And like Patrick said, check out the last show and you'll see what it's doing. You guys do seem cute as punch.
Oh,
yeah. You know that saying?
Wait, cute as punch.
Never heard that?
That's not.
It means
a
I don't
saying.
get it. No, I'm kidding.
Okay.
She seems sweet. She seems very sweet. Follow Patrick online, of course, as well. Also, we'll be talking to Newsy today and recording Q&A, and to Bianca this weekend for Last Week on Keith and the Girl. Both shows and all of our back catalog are available to VIPs. Now, again, yes, being a Keith and the Girl IP, that's very good. But have you ever been a Keith and the Girl VIP? Pretty fucking, it's sweet as punch. Get your membership at keithandthegirl.com/VIP. Get your free trial by putting in code free trial. One word. Fuck it. Right. Put in new car. See what happens. I don't know. I know free trial works though. And that's fantastic.
Keith, I am not making new car work just because you decided to say something like the Holocaust wasn't about race.
Yeah, and I'm back. And well, it's good to have these conversations. Patrick, thank you so much for your time. Congratulations to you and your family. It's a proud moment for the Schroeders.
Yeah, we're all very proud. It's going to be a great Christmas this year.
Right. I'll talk to you soon.